Welcome back. I wanted to go over the AUM technique. This technique is brought to us by and I'm going to mispronounce this, I'm sorry, Vijnana Bhairava. So it says, stop the doors of the senses with the weapons of the hands. Having seen the spiritual spot, into that ether the yogi floats, realizing the highest state. So that is where this technique comes from. And to do it, we're going to take the weapons of the hands, and we have energy coming out of our hands, right? We're actually sticking it back into our sense organs. So we're going to put the thumb, this is the tragus right here, this is the tragus of the ear. So we're going to put the thumb on top of the tragus and seal the whole of the ear. Then we're going to take the pinky and I place it right here in the corner on the lower eyelid because I'm going to be pressing up, and I place it here on the corner of this lower eyelid because I'm going to be pressing up very gently and very slightly. So I'm going to look up to the spiritual eye and press all of this. So I'm doing Shambhavi Mudra, and I'm pressing the ears and I'm pressing the eyes very gently to assist that energy to go back into the brain. And as your concentration deepens, as we quiet down the mind, the chatter of the linguistic mind, then we begin to hear the sounds of the chakras. And this is medical. We have the terminology chakra, but really they're just a nexus of nerves. So there's all these nerves coming through the spine, and as they interweave, they form like little nexuses. And medical science is aware of this. They have lumbar, sacral, dorsal. We call these specific parts of the spine by various names because we understand that they are a nexus of neural connections. All those nerves vibrate, and if we become quiet enough and still enough, we can hear those and tune into them and be benefited by tuning in to those deep parts of ourself. So as you plug the ear and listen to whatever noise is there, it usually starts with the physical. So then you're going to hear the sound of your breath. You might hear the sound of your heartbeat, or you might hear some other strange internal noises. But eventually you'll hear a very high-pitched whine sound, and then that sound will deepen and become more like a flute, and then that sound will deepen and become more like a harp. That sound will deepen again, it'll become more like a gong, and then that sound will deepen again, and you'll begin to hear the sound of rushing waters or the cascading roar of the ocean kind of sound, which is the Om sound. You know, the Christians say Amen, the Hindus say Om. It's the same sound that they're talking about. Vibration of nerves that's taking place in your body, which you can actually hear. And that's what this technique is designed to do. I'm going to give you a variation for the ear. You can actually place the entire thumb in the ear behind the tragus and then place the pinky. So that's another way to go about it. And it accomplishes the same thing. I hear Om when I do this, and I hear Om when I do this. So they both accomplish the very same thing. So what we're doing is we're becoming very still and very quiet, and we're using the weapons of the hands to push the energy back into the brain from the senses. And when we do that, we have a better and easier chance to have an experience of seeing the spiritual eye or hearing the sound. When you do this technique, it's usually recommended to listen to the sound mostly with your left ear, because the energy should be stronger in the left side of the body. But through my practice, I found that that wasn't true for me for a while. So I listen to the sound on the right side, in the right ear. And over time, the sound kind of moved into the center until it doesn't really matter which side I listen to. I just listen to the center. And I have this theory about the AUM technique, and that's that it's really just about becoming very, very quiet. That's it. That's the whole magic of the technique. And I've talked to people who have walked into anechoic chambers. If you don't know what that is, that's where they put all those triangles on the wall, like really big triangles, and then they test sound systems. It's a really magical thing because all the sound in the room goes to the wall where all the triangles are, and it bounces between the triangles and just dies right there. So all the sound gets deadened. And I've talked to people, normal people, and they said that you really can only stay in there for about half an hour to 45 minutes because you start hearing noises. People who go into an anechoic chamber have experiences just like the AUM technique, exactly like. They start hearing the sounds of their own spine. So it's just the normal everyday sounds that we are bombarded with which keep us from hearing the tiny and small sounds of our own nervous system. So that's it. That's the AUM technique. I hope this was helpful. You can pile up some pillows and rest your elbows on some pillows. That's comfortable. I only do this technique for a very short period of time, and so I just lift my arms up and hold them there. So I hope this was helpful for you. I hope it was valuable. If so, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.